you have to find a way for you not to get in the way. And the only way you can do that is really work on yourself.
Evelyn, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Is everyone a leader?
Absolutely. Everyone is a leader. I always say if you're not leading an organization or people or a group or a team, you are leading yourself. What does a successful leader look like? He's human. And by human and he's very aware. And of importance is also that he knows there are things he doesn't know.
Yes.
And he's not afraid of admitting that. He's again human enough to say, I do not know about this and I'm willing to learn. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's my definition of a good leader.
Wow.
A successful leader.
Hello and welcome back to the Sylvia Career Podcast, where we have conversations that matter. Today we are doing part 2 of the leadership conversation, and I have Evelyn with me. We had part 1 last time, and this is a continuation of what we talked about last time. Evelyn, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you back here.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. It's nice to see you again. My name is Evelyn Koki. I'm an organizational development and leadership consultant. And I believe in alignment of leadership and organizational development so that we, the whole conversation, the whole organization can function in coherent.
Awesome. Evelyn, I've got a question for you.
Yes.
Is everyone a leader?
Absolutely. Everyone is a leader. I always say if you're not leading an organization or people or a group or a team, you are leading yourself. Or you have to lead yourself. As soon as you turn 18, the work of leadership now transfers from your parents to you. And that means you have to decide on a day-to-day basis what you're going to do. And essentially, that's what a leader does.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Now, when you talk about self-leadership,
Yes.
how exactly do you think someone can lead themselves effectively so that they can lead another person?
Good question. How do you lead yourself effectively? You have to understand yourself. And it's not something you do, it's not an event, it's a process. You have to realize that you're evolving, you're a living thing, you're evolving. And as much as there are things about you that may not change, personality, and there's something that's very concrete, but there are most of the things in our lives in who we are that can be stretched and changed. And so to lead yourself effectively, you have to do the work of getting to know yourself. What works for you? What are your strengths? You do a SWOT analysis for yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What opportunity do you have? What are the threats? And threats here are weaknesses. What are the things that can easily bring you down?
Awesome.
Because we all have that, they call it the Achilles heel. There's that one thing and a blind spot that we all have that you need to understand it and find a way to mitigate that.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Talking about blind spots.
Yes.
It's really interesting how most of the time we become aware of our black spots, but this thing keep appearing. How do we handle that so that we do not also we don't make the inner critic stop us from leading ourselves in the right direction?
Yeah.
Because I know it's very possible to, having been aware of your blind spots, then instead of taking action, it stops you. In other words, sabotaging yourself in such a manner.
Yeah.
How do we navigate that in self-leadership still?
You have to realize that you are human. And the fact that you're human means inevitably you're going to fall.
Yes.
And you can never be 100%, you can never be perfect. But awareness is very important because when you're aware that you have this weakness or you have this blind spot, it's easily to put measures in place, work with your environment, work with the people around you, have a circle of trusted friends that you can be like, okay, when I feel this weakness, if it's, let me think of something, like let's say you like criticizing yourself or criticizing others. when you just feel that urge to criticize others, you can, if you're aware about it, you're aware of it, you can stop it. And when you feel like it's really pushing you to do something about it, have something to do at that exact moment. Like you can say, every time I feel like criticizing myself, I'm going to say 3 things about myself that I really like.
Absolutely.
And by
I love that.
yes, and by the time you're done with that list, trust me, your attitude will have changed.
True.
Yeah. So it's putting measures in place to stop you in your tracks. But then if you've not done the work of understanding yourself, you will not recognize this when it rears its head. You will not realize you're criticizing yourself. Yeah. So awareness is the first place to start, and then work with your environment. If you're someone who is trying to, let's say, lose weight, and you like snacking a lot, just make sure there's no snack inside. Remove everything. You can't say you want to lose weight or you want to stop. And one of the ways is to stop snacking, and then you don't remove all the snacks, all the temptations. So remove temptations. Have people you can call and be like, okay, I need a pep talk. I'm feeling the urge to do this. And they're like, okay, no, Sylvia, don't do that. Because if you do that, guess what will happen? This is what will, someone who will take you through cause and effect.
Okay.
Because at that moment, when that urge is very strong, it's very easy to be blinded to the fact that this course of action, you're going to pay for it.
Beautiful.
It may not be immediately, but in the future, future self is going to pay for it. So you need to be reminded. And if you have that, it becomes, and I think we've had this conversation previously where we said, the more now you go mitigating or muting this voice, the less and less it appears.
Yes.
Yeah. So now these events will be far and wide stretched, and they wouldn't be as common or as frequent.
Okay, that was just a small snippet of part of leading self.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering from leading others' perspective, there's this notion that some people are naturally leaders, some people are born leaders or like that. And then there is this part of that leadership is training, or you can be trained to be a leader, or you can train yourself to become a leader leading others.
Yeah.
What's your perspective on
I think they're all true. The people who are natural, you can see it in children. There's a child who is naturally a leader. The others who may be late bloomers, but with the right training, they become the best leaders.
that? Awesome.
So it's a combination of both factors. We have talents and gifts that we are all born with.
Yes,
Some things that come naturally to you do not come naturally to me.
I agree.
Yeah. So in leadership is the same concept. The aspects of leadership that, let's say, for leading people or delegating or organizing, that will come very, very easy for me, but will come very hard for you.
Yes.
So it's getting your talent and the gifts that God gave you, and also going through training to polish them. And to polish these other areas that you may not be so strong in. And with that, now you get to have a proper leader. You can't, sure, I don't know. Okay, this is my opinion.
Yes.
You can't, we've seen naturally born leaders. But like I said, if they don't put in the work, they always have that one thing that brings them down. It's either, we've seen, look at the Alexander the Great. The man conquered half the world.
Yes.
Was it the whole world? But he was unable to conquer himself. He died of alcohol. He could not stop drinking. So that's a problem with saying people are naturally born leaders. Yes, there's that aspect of being born a leader, but there's work that you have to do.
Yes.
And most of that work is self-leadership, understanding yourself, leading yourself, working on yourself. Because if you don't do that, that one small thing will bring you down.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if I understood you well,
Yeah.
you can be born a leader.
Yes.
Like you can have circumstantial leadership, like now you are the eldest at home.
Yes.
And naturally, you're the one who
Yes.
leads the others. But if you do not consciously train yourself as a leader, then you would fail terribly as a firstborn who has so much expectations laid on them.
Yeah.
Yet there's no proper training that would let them become better leaders. So on that note, what's your perspective on leadership in the family? Does it help someone to come and lead better at work, or what's your perspective on that?
There's something you've mentioned that I think is critical that we talk about expectations.
Yes.
There are circumstances, yes, like firstborns,
Yes.
where you're born and immediately there are expectations that are laid on you. You didn't choose them, but it's your current reality. And sometimes people don't, because they let that run their lives. They don't pause and think, okay, in as much as these are the expectations laid on me, I have to find a way to balance that with who I am and see if there's a way I can align those two. And so the thing you've mentioned about if you're a good or you're born firstborn, does that translate now to you being a good leader in the workplace? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And yes, being a firstborn will train you from, when you're growing up, you'll be trained to know you have to look after your sisters or your brothers. You have to know, if there's a family business, it's going to go to you. And all these conversations will be drilled in you. But then again, I'll go back to working on yourself. You have to realize there's a part that you have to play. And expectations alone, if not managed or well, and let me just use the word manage, they're not well managed, can even be the reason that you do not become that leader in the first place. Because you may say, you may have that arrogance of, this is who I am. I am a leader, so I don't need to improve myself and I don't need to work on myself. There's absolutely nothing in me that needs working on. And if you bring that arrogance now and entitlement, actually it's not, I should call it entitlement, not arrogance. Yes, if you bring that entitlement to a workplace, you'll find other people who are also firstborns, also born with the same entitlement.
Yes.
And then what happens? Yeah, now we have those conflicts that we usually have in workplace that don't seem to get solved. Yeah.
All right. Now we've moved from that being a firstborn. Now this firstborn is, for example, a leader. I am really happy that we are going that way. Now there's this, you have all of you are firstborns, which is, it's not an ideal, but
Yeah.
it can happen.
Yes. Yeah.
That both of everybody now feels they have a sense of entitlement, and then at workplace, or let me just flip it, let's say that you have junior employees and senior employees. Now the senior employees are having such a form of entitlement that you cannot tell me anything, I have been here for all this while. How do we level that as a leader to make sure that we are not making others feel less of beings because we've been here for long, or you are leaders by your own right and you cannot be told anything?
This is an organizational setting, right?
Yes.
We've moved from the family. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
So in an organization, as you have to be conscious. I always say, if you want to get the right team, get it right from the hiring process. I am one of those people who say selection when you're hiring is very important, because then you have the chance to pick the right personality, you can hire for personality, train for skills. That's, for me, it's the key.
See, that's
Skills can
good.
be hire for personality, train for skills. Because personality is very hard to change, but skills you can impact them. And so start from the hiring process. Be very intentional about the team that you're creating, and know exactly what it is that you're looking for in a team. If you're intentional from the hiring process, then you will get the right people for the job. If it's an alpha you're looking for, if it's someone you will get them. You can, nowadays we have personality tests, we have questions, we have tests that you can run on the people you've employed or you're hiring, to be able to get the right fit for your team.
Yes.
But now let's say that's the ideal situation.
Yes.
Now you find yourself in a team where you have all these people in the same team. Now that's where I will say, may God help you. But also, people are trainable and teachable. And you as a leader, you can create an environment where everyone feel the influence and the pull to follow you. So it's not all is not lost. You can you've heard of stories. A team is dysfunctional, completely dysfunctional, or a company is doing so badly, but a leader comes in and things turn out. It's a 360. What usually changes, it's the leadership. Because as a leader, you carry an environment of or aura, energy of whatever it is that you want to bring in the organization, in your team. If you want your team to be aligned, to be vulnerable, to be honest, to create a safe space, to be psychologically safe,
Yes.
you can create that, and it starts with you. So this is where the leader now has to be intentional about who they are and the presence they bring into the team, because then that everything they do, the word, action, tone, everything will speak into the environment that this he will create for the team. So if you're a good leader, you listen, you're attentive, you care for your people, you genuinely care, because people can tell when you're not fake, when you're fake. It's there's something about being authentic that you cannot fake it. And when you fake it, you can only fake it for so long.
For so long, yes.
People will be able to pick it up. It's something we will not be able to put it in words. I'll not be able to say maybe Sylvia is fake, but something in me will feel it, will pick it. And if as a leader you are authentic and you genuinely care for your people, and they can see that in everything that you do,
Yes.
because these people are watching you. If you can do that, then you'll be able to influence them. And before you know it, you have a team that is working together. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, on the part of creating an environment, there is a part, I think we discussed it last time, but it
Yeah.
was about culture.
Yes.
And that culture is really people's behavior and is about how much is tolerated in an organization.
Yes.
Because you realize that in some parts, you notice that it's the same organization. One person is having a total different experience of the place.
Yes.
Like to an outsider, it may look like this is the best workplace that I would really desire to be in. And to another person, they feel like this is the worst workplace. What creates such an imbalance in leadership, such that a person is experiencing total, it's a totally different part from experience totally different leadership. And obviously, in leadership, there are other leaders who report, there are leaders who still report to other
Yeah.
leaders.
Yeah.
How do we make sure that is that the playing field is really leveled in terms of leadership, so that we are not making our people feel like this is the worst workplace and to another this is the best workplace?
You want me to speak from an employee perspective or from a leadership
From a
perspective?
leadership perspective.
From a leadership perspective. Okay. So again, it comes back to you as a person. Because someone said, and I'll paraphrase it, that we see through the lens of our own biases, our own experiences, our own trauma. So I will look at that cup, I will see white, and I'll see it's a good cup. But you may have had an experience where a white cup burned your hand. So for you, when you're looking at that cup, you're remembering that experience and be like, I don't like that cup as much. So people are complex. They're bringing that into the organization.
Yes.
So as a leader, I can see employees who are fully enjoying this environment, because probably for them this is like, let me give an example. Like the two of us are working in the same organization.
Yes.
For me, this was my dream job. I really wanted to work for this company. Let's call it company A. For you, you wanted company B, but you missed company B. Now you're in company A. Now, that already sets us apart. Because my attitude is, this is the best place I could go. This is the best place I've always wanted to work in. And so I bring my best self, and I'm feeling very good about myself. For you, you're feeling like a failure because you missed B, and now you have to be stuck with A. And so it's been very conscious and intentional about all these feelings and all these things that can, and biases that can affect how we view an environment or view a person, and consciously being very present and choosing the emotion, the feeling, the attitude to bring into a situation. Yeah. Have I answered your question?
Yes, you have. You
Okay.
have.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that's why
from
now you'll find everyone will experience an environment differently, a work environment differently. Yeah.
all right. That also brings you from a perspective of you as a person
Yes.
controlling what you can
Yes.
control.
Yes. Yes.
Because definitely we are human beings, as you said. We are very complex. We are free thinkers, as we discussed last
Absolutely.
time.
Yes.
And how you want me to think in a certain way. I mean, I may achieve it from a point of compliance, but
Yeah.
not really the real me. So that would block me from bringing my whole self to work
Exactly.
because I have to be contained in a certain way. So to some extent, you can have control. How now do you yourself as a leader handle someone who they're really feeling disgruntled in a team because of the various experiences in our so
Yeah.
that this team does not feel like this is the worst workplace. Let's say we have some person who is really disgruntled. I'm glad you gave that example. You really had your mindset in another place,
Yes.
but you have come.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure that this person somehow comes gels in as much as we may not control how much they think?
Yeah.
How do we help that we do not bring the negative attitude in a leadership
Yeah.
in a team so that the leadership doesn't feel frustrated? Because leading people, generally speaking, is not very easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bringing out the humanity in all of us. It's having conversation with. I always say there's no such thing as bad feedback. All feedback is good feedback. So if this person you can tell that they're not generally okay with the team, just pull them aside, have a conversation with them. And I like I'm forgetting his name. He said you have to know the kind of conversation you're having. Because sometimes we have a logical conversation when someone is looking for an emotional conversation. So as a leader, have that at the back of your mind. If there's an issue, if this person has an issue, is this the right time to bring facts and logic into the conversation, or is this the time to forget about that and have an emotional conversation and be like, okay, just talk to me. What's going on? Are you okay? Family okay? What can we work on? How can I help you? Don't start with a mistake. Start with the fact that how can I help you achieve, what you need to achieve here? How can I assist you in bringing that out? Yeah, where have we failed you as an organization? Where have I failed you as a leader? And then this person, if you've created safety in that environment, you'll be able to tell you, okay, this is what I'm struggling with, and because of this and this. But in as much as you can't make the environment perfect, let's say if they wanted to go to that company, you cannot give them that job, but they can tell you, okay, to improve the current environment, do this for me, or improve this. And then you'll be like, okay, fine, let me see. If I do that, are you able to deliver? And then now you come to an agreement and everyone walks away happy or content.
Awesome.
Yeah. But always, if there's something I can drill into leaders, it's always forget about facts and logic when you're dealing with people. Always have the emotional conversation first. And once that is out of the way, now bring in the logic and facts and say, like, okay, this is your KPI, this is what you're supposed to deliver in. Now, once I sort that out, are you able to do that? And if someone has already, and I think we had this conversation last time, if someone is, they're hard, if they feel like this, you're trying to understand me, you're trying to hear me out, there's nothing they can't do for you. It's just that you come in and state facts and figures and stuff, and my walls go up because now I feel like I have to defend myself. But if you break that down and tell me, you know what, I'm not here to attack you, I'm here to help you, my defense will go down. And I'll be ready. Yes. And now I'll be ready to have that conversation. Okay, this is your deliverables. Deliver on that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So what does a successful leader look like?
Sylvia Correll. What does a successful leader look like? He's human. Number one, very human. And by human is, and he's very aware. He listens a lot. I know it's a cliche, but they say we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So they listen really a lot. They are very attuned to the feelings and emotions and the environment of his team. They care a lot. Really care a lot. They know, you'll find those are the people who know, the Wochi, they'll know everyone from the, down all the way up. Be like, oh, the Wochi, I know the Wochi, the son is joining Form 1. And we'll have a conversation. It may not be, a long conversation, but every time he passes, he says, hi, how are you? So how's your son? Did he join school? Oh, okay, nice. Okay, all right, see you. It's someone who has mini micro connections with with everyone in the team. And in a way that feels genuine.
Yes, yes.
And in coming from a very authentic place. And this leader also is very skilled. It's not one or the other, it's both. He's very human, but he's also very technical. Whatever it is that whatever area of expertise, he's very good at it. Everyone knows that if I want this done well, I can go to our leader and he will do it well. And of importance is also that he knows there are things he doesn't know.
Yes.
And he's not afraid of admitting that. He's again human enough to say, I do not know about this and I'm willing to learn. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's my definition of a good leader.
Wow.
A successful
That
leader.
is quite something.
Yeah.
So if I hear you well, there is a place for high emotional intelligence.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because if I am coming to you, you have really brought the walls down.
Yeah.
That I can be vulnerable with you, but do I trust you enough to tell you?
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
otherwise, the leader might become a person who collects other people's vulnerabilities and using them against them.
That as well, yes.
Yeah, because if a leader, you are not highly skilled and you have no boundaries, also you may lose the team because there are people who would be very uncomfortable if you got so much into their personal space.
Yes, yes.
And yet, maybe you are just coming out of a genuine concern. But then also that means you really have to be so highly skilled in telling that this is a boundary I'm not allowed by this reportee, or rather this junior that he's with me, that I will not take advantage of my position to make them tell me personal things.
Yeah.
I'll tell you an example of what happened, then you can give me perhaps what we would have done better. This is a real scenario, by the way. So, so you're here, and then these Zoom meetings that happen in the corporate space, the hybrid work kind of. And then my child shows up on camera, and then it doesn't. The camera, yeah, the child has showed up on camera. You're really struggling to communicate instead of telling me, can I excuse you a little?
Yeah.
You don't, you want to continue in your conversation. So I'm torn between getting the child out of camera
Okay.
and then thinking from this perspective, I'm thinking, oh, the story is over now. We can continue. I have handled the minor, and then back into the conversation. Then conversations is being repeated in spaces that I didn't expect. So in such a scenario, what could have been the best way to handle such? Yeah, because it's possible that a child can come, then you as a leader, instead of just letting it slide, it becomes a conversation in other places. That's what I was saying about collecting other people's vulnerabilities
And using them against
and
them.
using them in an inappropriate manner
Yeah.
in spaces that were not really necessary.
Let me just ask, was this post-COVID or pre-COVID? Post-COVID. If it was pre-COVID, I would have excused their behavior because that was very strange back then. It was a very strange occurrence. We never used to have such incidences. But post-COVID, oh my goodness, we've seen people who, okay, I don't want to, there are some ridiculous things that were exposed out there. So a child should have been a light moment. I think what should have happened is you would have had a moment of, a light moment. Hi, so what's your child's name? Hi, how are you? And then you given a moment to just go, take your child away from the camera and continue with conversation. And that is not an incident that should have been repeated elsewhere. And then if she or he has an issue with that, what now she should have done is said, okay, next time I really do not or have an issue when our conversation is interrupted. I would request if next time you would just close the door, just make sure your door is closed and then we can have our own conversation. But to have that conversation repeated elsewhere, my goodness, I'm so sorry. That should not happen. And as a leader, you should be, because if I was to hear that conversation, first of all, and it's just like you guys were on Zoom, just the two of you, I'll never trust that leader again. Because I know if you can expose or you can talk about something like that. And did she even have a conversation with you regarding the incident?
Not really. You're just having moments where you have found yourself in a lift and then you have this group of colleagues and then they start narrating what happened. Literally, I felt like getting out of the lift because that's embarrassment. It's too much, and this is a person you cannot argue. That's why I'm talking about from a place of authority.
Yes.
Vis-a-vis, you cannot really defend yourself in such a scenario. Yeah.
That should not have happened. That is someone who is not emotionally intelligent. They should know there are things that you don't need to discuss. And if you have to discuss them with the person, the relevant person. If you have an issue with me, come to me directly. I don't need to hear it. That's how now a culture, I'll go back to culture, becomes toxic. We're not talking to each other, we are talking about each other.
Exactly.
And before you know it now, that's how even information moves around. We even trust the informal channels of communication than the formal channel of communication. And I think that's something leaders should be educated on. You do not do that to your employee. Do not break trust like that. You have to have boundaries and know which conversation to have with whom and how relevant. And also to know some of these things, just let them slide. They're not a big deal. Let them go. Don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah, like they say, you're majoring on the minor.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. So
that should not have happened.
That means high emotional intelligence is really a key skill
in
a leader. Because
definitely, yes.
Because you're having people who have other burdens.
Yeah.
And not all of them are applicable in the workplace.
Yeah.
Yeah, so from a leadership perspective, what do you make of leaders that really want to bring cohesion, but they're using the words "we are a family" here? What are your perspectives on that?
I like it if you are actually a family. You're not using it to cover up the toxicity in the organization, because that's what most people are saying. So it's now the word has become a code for this is a toxic environment.
I know.
So a friend of mine was telling me when she goes to a company and they're like, oh, we are family here, she's like, oh, be wary. It could be, it's not a very, I don't like that. I don't like the way the word family is being misused, because I do believe in family. And if I tell you, Sylvia, we are family, for me, I actually mean that. Yeah, I mean that we are family. And that I mean is I'll be on the lookout for your interests. I will know I should care for you as I care for myself, because that's what family is. It's not being selfish, it's knowing your actions have an impact on the other person and be very conscious about them. I don't just wake up and decide to do things without consulting. That does not happen in families, the ideal families. So if If you are an organization and you say you're a family and you're not doing all those things, please stop creating a bad name out of the word family. Like some of us still believe in good families, so do not misuse that word.
Yes,
But yes, there are
absolutely.
organizations out there that are actual family. People who genuinely care for the employees and care for each other and look out for each other. I have a friend of mine, she's working in such an organization and she's having a time of her life. You can even say, yesterday my boyfriend broke up with me, I need a day off. And everyone will be like, yeah, please go take time. They call it what? Personal time or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yes, you can look at your calendar and say, in as much as lunch is 1 to 2, I'll be taking my lunch 3 to 4 because at this time that's when I go and pick my child from school.
Yeah.
So it's that's genuine family. Yeah, so we have good organizations that mean it when they say we are family, but others are just using it as a cover up.
I do agree with you that yes, and the part of we are a family, truth be told,
Yeah.
many organizations are really profit oriented.
Yes.
So when you pull in family where you know that if numbers don't add up, family thing has to be put aside for so that the balance sheet can make sense.
Yes.
So it becomes very difficult to use the word family in profit oriented businesses because that is from my perspective, because many families do not reduce family members because we don't have enough money.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, we do not cut on our breakfast because you cannot say you stay today without food so that others can get. We will still share the small ones. But in the corporate setup, there are people who will go without the bonus because the numbers didn't add up. So you see, when we bring the family part, it really becomes transactional. Families are way too sacred
for transactions.
for transactional
I
relationships.
agree.
So that is my perspective on family. And I do agree with you that there are organizations who really provide family-like environment. Yes, it's not the ideal family that we are all looking for, but they provide the family-like warmth. And I find that it is easy to still form a cohesive team, not cohesive, but cohesive team without necessarily bringing the word family because now everyone is very sensitive. The way you say it, it's now code red.
Yeah.
Red flag.
Yes.
Don't
the red
work
flag.
here.
Yes.
Don't work here because leadership is toxic.
Yes.
And they keep pulling the family part on that. Because like in my scenario, if that were a family, you wouldn't be embarrassing us in the lift.
Absolutely not.
You
Yes.
wouldn't be bringing such, or you don't go collecting other people's vulnerabilities and using them.
You don't do that.
In spaces that are not needed. So can I say that leadership sometimes is a very delicate balance?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you can't handle it, you have no business being a leader because as a Christian, every life entrusted unto you, you will give an account.
For it.
And the Bible is not very soft on teachers and leaders.
Yes.
If you lead one of them astray, you'll have a case to answer. So you'd rather not do it if you're not willing to do the work and to go an extra mile. We're not saying be perfect, but at least aspire to be. Yeah. So it's very important. It's very critical. A leader is someone who can make and break someone. If you there's one of our friends started a thread on Facebook. She's a teacher and she's running a teacher's podcast, and she started a thread on Facebook about the things that people have experienced in the hands of teachers. And you could see the trauma. People are like, oh, this teacher did this and this. And since that day, I've not been able to recover. I still clinch. So you imagine as a person with authority, you have the power to make or break someone for good, actually. There are people, things that happened in, like I remember when I was in primary school, I could not say S. I could say F. I used to bite my tongue a lot. And the teacher's way of handling it was to embarrass me, to ask me all the time, stand up and say it, and give me words with S to say. And then remember, I can't say S, I say F. For some reason, S was too heavy on me. Now, why do I still, for the longest time, struggled with public speaking? Because for me, it means every time I stand up, I remember at that time when I was embarrassed, I could stand up and I could not articulate myself. It's taken me a lot of work to recover from that one incident. So was it worth it? Absolutely not. He would have found another way to handle it. And that's what leaders need to know. Every action, every word, most of these things you do will have an impact on whoever you're speaking to.
Absolutely.
And you may not see the effects, but they will definitely show up in this person's life later in life. And you do not want to be that person who makes life hard for other people. So use your authority well. And if you feel you can't, just again, you have no business being a leader, because if you're breaking people, there's no point. Because the whole point of life is to do things that, in my opinion, benefit humanity and give glory to God. And as a leader, always measure up. This is your yardstick. Stick. If it's not benefiting people, if it's not bringing glory to God, just don't do it. Yeah, don't do it. Yeah.
So on that note, then it's still possible for you to be a leader even when you do not have people reporting to you.
Yeah.
And that kind of leadership has proved to be more effective than people who are in leadership positions.
Yeah.
Because a leadership position sometimes makes, I don't know whether it's pride or what makes people behave in such a manner. An example is there are people who maybe they're your friends, and then suddenly when they get this leadership position, suddenly they are no longer your friends. What do you make of that? Is it that the expectation in the leadership is too much that I cannot be friends with you with anymore? Or what really changes when people get into leadership from an organizational perspective still? Because generally speaking, there are people who do extremely well in the corporate space, and then shortly after, they've been added responsibility to be leaders. Then things change, and this person completely abandons who they were known to be to become someone else. What's that?
There's an experiment that was done. I remember reading about it. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay, fine. So it was an experiment. People were put in a room. They were given, I don't remember what snack it was, but let's say it was queen cake. They were given queen cakes. Each person picked. Now, the same group of people, let's say the four of us here, you're appointed a leader, and we're given the same queen cakes. Guess what happened? You, because now you're a leader, you felt the need to take two, and you ate. The person who was appointed to be a leader ate carelessly. They dropped things on the table, and they expected someone else to come and clean for them. I know. Imagine, in a span of moments, they were able to change. And I remember thinking, okay, what made the difference? What made the difference? Why do they feel now entitled to have more queen cakes and to not be tidy up because now they're leaders? And I thought about it, and then I realized money and power, they expose who you've been all along.
Oh, wow. Repeat that.
Money and power expose who you've been all along. This other version of you we were seeing was not genuine. It was a mask you had put on. There's something that was circulating on WhatsApp the other day, and I was saying, when I get money, I may not change, but you will see it, or something along those lines. And someone ridiculously doing things, ridiculous, wearing some weird stuff and traveling to weird places. It's because people have put on masks to survive a season. But as soon as that season is over and they get exactly what they wanted, the real self comes out. Again, if you feel, if you're not grounded in who you are and in God, you will money and power will bring out the thing. Now you feel like, now I'm finally a person. It's the same way you can see a very rich person, a very wealthy person, still humble and kind to everyone. Another one becomes very wealthy and suddenly he becomes someone. The same way you've said, becomes a totally different person. It's their real self that has been exposed. They were never that other version before. It just exposes exactly who you are. Yeah. And then again, that goes to show, if you've not worked on yourself and these things come, we will see.
Not led yourself properly.
Yes, we will see all these things coming back up, and yeah, there'll be the same things that will bring you down.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So all these that we've talked about, for you to be a successful organization, from your organizational leadership perspective,
Yeah.
a successful organization, how do we train leaders
Yeah.
to become that leader that everyone wants to follow?
I believe most of the problems that we experience in our workplace and in our relationships and in every area of our lives is because we've left God out of the conversation. We are struggling with leaders and employees because God is no longer involved in our lives. Because most of the training, if you look at most of the training, leadership training that is offered,
Yes.
it's framework and tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to achieve this goal, do this. So it's not coming from deep inside you. It's not a transformation.
Yeah, it's coming from.
It's a superficial cover up to achieve a result.
Yes.
So once I've achieved that result, the same thing with you're saying someone gets power and they change. I had a tactic, I had a framework to become a leader.
It worked.
My work was to make sure, it worked. Whatever it is, I don't want to mention, let's just say whatever it is, tactic that you had, it worked. Now I'm a leader. The result has been achieved. This thing, it's a mask, I'm throwing it off. The real me comes out. The only way we can avoid most of the conflicts and most of the issues we have is if everyone genuinely became who they were. And we allowed God back into the conversation, into our lives. And we are all able to be transformed from inside out. Because these things of transforming the outer bit, it's not working.
Yes.
It's not working. Suddenly someone gets more money or more power or whatever, and they completely change. Yeah, it's not working. It's to bring God back in, to realize we cannot change ourselves, number one. Yeah, we can mask, but we can never truly, deeply change ourselves. And once you invite him and he's able to work on you, nicely and properly and transforms you, you become the person you were created to be. Which, number one, that is very powerful.
Yes.
Because you're no longer masking or pretending or getting validation. Especially most of the problems stem from the fact that we're getting validation from external validation from these other things. But if you get that validation from God and who you are as a person, then there's no point of stepping on Sylvia to get a title. Because I believe I can go the extra mile. I can put in the work and get what is for me, meant for me. And I don't need to take away. It doesn't take away from you. Yeah. So it's having clear training programs that bring God back into the conversation and train us to change from inside out. Transformation, not a cover up or a mask or a framework or a 10-step process that I can use to achieve a result.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so profound that you cannot just use frameworks and then it works, because they are bound to be thrown out.
As soon as the results you're looking for, whatever it
You
is.
need to work on the identity.
Exactly.
The person.
Absolutely.
Yes. And if my identity is not in God, or my identity is not addressed, it's very hard for me to change a behavior, because it
Yeah.
has to address who I am and who I am becoming for me to be changed.
Yes.
Because you realize that every other thing that we want to use is usually addressing the outer part, but not in inner part.
Yeah.
If we speak to the innermost self, it is very easy for us to transform the outside.
Yes,
Because
exactly.
if I have no idea of how my best self looks like now, if I have no clue or I have no vision whatsoever, I've never visualized who I want to become, it is very hard for me to work towards it. The framework will
Yes.
come and say, these things never work.
Mm.
Just same, I was reviewing the framework that people use to set goals because they want to achieve a certain result.
Yeah.
And then there's the infamous SMART goals.
Mm.
And you realize that all these things that are in the framework SMART, I'm glad we're talking about frameworks. The framework SMART is outside. There is nothing that is talking about inward.
Yeah.
So it becomes very difficult to bring out a result from outside
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
It is usually inside
Out.
out. Because if you look at the specific goal, therefore, so what? Yes, I know I want to lose weight. Then, if I'm not seeing the benefits of me losing weight, it becomes very difficult for me to hit the gym or
Yeah.
to throw away the snacks
Yes.
out
Yes.
of my
Yeah.
out of my
The environment.
everyday
Yes.
environment. Yeah. There is no way I will bring myself in the environments that will make me become that person if it is not addressing the inner being. And so who is the inner being? It's our connection to our creator,
Yes.
which is whom we have our being.
Yeah.
Then we will work towards becoming that person. I'm so glad you talked about the
Yeah.
framework. That
Oh,
was
I honestly
really
believe that.
powerful.
Yeah.
We have to work
Yeah.
towards that. So, in a nutshell, every organization have to address issues from the root cause, not the symptoms.
Yes.
So if there is a leadership problem, as we said, that we have to look at the root cause. What is really the problem? So
Yes.
on that, I just wanted to hear your perspective. What prevents people from handling things from the root cause? Because rarely do you hear people wanting to identify the real problem. And I remember our last conversation, you talk about strategy, like we want to do things and that. Then we'll have the same, the strategy becomes the framework.
Yes.
How do we make sure that we're setting our strategy to go and conquer this place? What is the preparation like in just that manner?
Because it's hard. It's hard to address issues from the root cause. Like just by the name root means you have to excavate, do some serious excavation
Yes.
to get to the real issue. And symptoms, they're here. It's easy to say, oh, Sylvia is doing this because she's lazy. It's easy to label and move on. It's harder to realize, we need to get to why Sylvia looks like, in our opinion, lazy. And figure out, oh, it's something to do with the work, performance or JD, that is the issue. And it's an issue because we've not really mapped out our job descriptions well. And that is an issue because there was no thought process or there was no thinking behind our organizational chart. It means for you to get to the root cause, you have to go through all these other layers of mass that you've and labels that you've put on yourself or on the organizations that are easy. In short, it's hard. It's really hard to get to the root cause, and that's why people struggle with it. And because of that, it's easy for people to just say, I'm not willing to do that work. I'll give you a very good example. We have so many people struggling in one area or another. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm also struggling in one area or another. And I know exactly what I need to do to improve in that area. But am I willing to do the work? Exactly. That's our problem. It's work. It's work to do that, but it's work that pays. If we all did accepted and took it as a task. There's something I'm forgetting what is his name. A psychologist said at some point in our lives you have to accept there's a burden, there's a responsibility that was put on you. And once you accept that, you carry it now with grace. We do not want to accept that. We want life to be comfortable and easy. We don't want to accept there are things that we have to struggle with and work on to get to the versions of ourselves that God created us to be. Yeah, I think that's our problem. It does take a lot of work. Yeah. And it's work we're not willing to do.
And yes, and so when we do not work, when if we are not willing to work on ourselves, it becomes very hard for somebody, an outsider, to come and work on you. That comes out very, very clearly.
Yeah.
Now, on the part of leadership in an organization,
Yeah.
how do we, the mitigation measures that can be taken for leaders that are maybe struggling for one reason or another, maybe the teams are dysfunctional, the teams are grumbling all the time, the team is really complaining about a certain leader. So how do we make sure that the leader gets hurt? Because I'm sure they have their own
Of
perspective
course.
about this team.
Yeah.
So how, I know we've really talked, our conversations are out there on the people being led,
Yeah.
but very little is said about these leaders
And their
have
struggles.
equal
Yeah.
struggles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we discuss that a little more?
Okay. There's something my dad taught me, and it's a quality I've come to admire in people, and especially in leaders and in men. He used to be very clear and say, you know what, here I don't know. Here I'm struggling. From my perspective, this is what this looks like. Like he would say, from my perspective, when you don't perform, I feel like it reflects on me, you're letting me down. And I have an expectation towards you that you're not meeting. So as a leader is coming and saying, okay, this is the story in my head. When you do this, Sylvia, I feel like you are not doing your best and you're letting me down. And you're essentially trying to make me look like a failure as your leader. And I want us to have a conversation in terms of is it something I've done? Is it something I can do? I can improve that, or is it what is it? What's the issue? You might think that your team is setting you up for failure, but they're not. It goes back to the conversation we had earlier about root causes, root and symptoms. It's easy to think it's about failure, but it's harder to ask yourself, what else can this mean? And going to an extent of not judging your team, but trying to understand them. And in trying to understand them, being open enough to have a conversation with them and realize they also have their own concerns. They might be feeling the exact same way you're feeling.
Yes.
And it's bringing those two, the team and the leader on the table and having vulnerable conversations, honest conversations that we all get to understand. We are all working towards the same goal. We all want this company to succeed.
Absolutely.
We want this team to deliver. It's just that we are all stuck in our own corners of the world.
Yes.
And in our own corner of the world, because we are in our own corner, we are seeing things different. Our perspective of events are different. When a team is looking up the leader, they'll think someone who is just arrogant, authority, pushing his agenda. But they don't understand the leader also is accountable and he has deliverables. And so him pushing, it doesn't mean he doesn't care for the welfare of the team. It's just he has someone to report to.
Yes.
And the leader from up there might think, oh, these guys are just lazy, they don't care about me. But they're thinking, okay, if you make the environment slightly better, if you could improve this one aspect, we'll be able to deliver without no question asked. And so once you can bring both parties on the table, and everyone will be willing to honestly speak about the issues that are affecting them, a lot can be solved. They say a lot is lost between what is said and not what is not said. Yeah, people keep opinions and ideas in their head and assume the other person is magically supposed to know what they feel. But we have to learn how to articulate ourselves and to say what we mean and what we think should happen. And this is what's going to make our workplace an environment where we all can enjoy and deliver and be our best selves.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If I get you well, that boils down to alignment.
Exactly.
That we don't really need to feel like we are being set up for failure. We need to look at it positively. Like
Yes.
this
Yeah.
is a person, we have shared goals.
Yeah.
It is only that we have misaligned a little bit. So if we just align, this team can do wonders.
Exactly.
And this leader can perform optimally.
Yes.
So it's just coming together and charting the course together, holding one another, and not leaving others to struggle where we see we can do something.
Yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
about that. How does a new leader navigate change, having come to a new team? These are people you've never met.
Yeah.
Or perhaps you have met them, but not in your capacity as a leader. How do you manage change in that perspective?
I'm tempted to say we are writing a book called Navigating Change. So you should wait until we read that book.
Oh, tell us
You'll have all the
bit.
nuggets and
Tell us a
wisdom.
little bit.
Change is becoming a constant necessity. And as a leader, whether you're changing from a different organization to another or a different team to another, every level that you go up, every time something changes, actually not every time, most of the time you'll find you have to navigate change in one way or the other.
Yeah.
And so as a new leader, you come in and you have a new team. The first thing you should do is listen, observe, listen, observe, listen. Be very patient to not speak, because it's easy to just come and you have your own ideas and to see mistakes. Because that's the first thing. I don't know why we're wired like that. You'll come into a new environment and you're thinking, you know exactly why this company is not working, and you will impose your own ideas without trying to understand how it has worked in all this other time.
Or what's not working.
Or what's not working, yes. So take the time. Investigate. Be curious. Stay very curious. Understand what works, what doesn't. Understand the formal and informal culture, authority, informal lines of communication.
Yes.
And then now from there, you'll be able to design change or to navigate that in a way that is from an informed point of view, not from an ego point of view.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really difficult.
It is.
Working
Again,
from
yes.
a point of not ego, but informed.
Yes.
That's really difficult.
It is. Like we said earlier, I think this has been the theme of this podcast. That was not the intention, but it turned out to be the theme of this podcast is you have to find a way for you not to get in the way.
Absolutely.
And the only way you can do that is really work on yourself and do the hard work. Don't treat symptoms, go to the root cause. It will be hard, but it will give you sustained change.
Absolutely.
And sustained results.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
With that, I'm really happy and grateful to have had this conversation with you, Evelyn. Again, it's amazing to hold this conversation.
Yeah.
Sadly, time has just... Where did it go?
I know.
I'm so glad
Yeah.
that we have talked about leadership and the nuggets that we didn't exhaust in part one.
Yeah.
We have captured in this part. So once again, welcome again.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to part 3.
Why not?
All right. Cheers. Thank you.
That's it from the Sylvia Career Podcast. See you next time.